Good evening, Philadelphia. This is your Eagles Insider Report, coming to you live from the heart of the city of brotherly love, where the birds are soaring high, but not without a few bumps along the way. Imagine this, a quarterback hurling a desperation pass, then bolting downfield like a wide receiver on steroids, positioning himself to snag his own throw. Sounds like something out of a Hollywood script, right? Well, folks, that's exactly what Jalen Hurts tried to pull off in the Eagles' heart-pounding loss to the Denver Broncos this past Sunday. It didn't connect, but oh boy, it had us all on the edge of our seats at Lincoln Financial Field. What a moment that encapsulates the grit, the innovation, and the sheer audacity of this Philadelphia Eagles squad. Stick with me as we break it all down, because in the NFL, where legends are made, this could have been the craziest play ever. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's set the scene right from the jump. It was the final snap of the game, the Eagles trailing the Broncos in what turned out to be their first defeat of the 2025 season. Picture the clock ticking down to 0, the crowd roaring that iconic AGLS chant that's echoed through the Link since it opened back in 2003. Jalen Hurts, our dual-threat QB who's been lighting up the league, drops back in that Hail Mary formation. A last-ditch heave where the quarterback lofts the ball deep into the end zone, praying for a miracle catch amid a sea of jumping players. Hurts unleashes a beauty toward the back of the end zone, where his dynamic duo of wideouts, Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown, are leaping like superheroes. But here's where it gets wild. As soon as that ball leaves his hands, Hurts doesn't just stand there patting himself on the back. No, sir, he takes off in a full sprint downfield. A sideline camera caught it all in glorious detail, showing Hurts blasting past the line of scrimmage, weaving through the chaos, trying to get into position for a potential deflection. You see, if that ball bounces off a defender's hands or gets tipped back toward the field, Hurts wanted to be right there to corral it himself. The pigskin ends up getting batted down in the end zone. Smith and Brown both had their gloves on it, fighting like eagles over prey, but Hurts' dash? It was all for naught this time. The Broncos escape with the win, handing Philly their first L of the year. But Jalen, ever the leader, addressed the media post-game. "We will learn from it," he said calmly, that signature poise shining through. And learn they will, because this team, under head coach NickSirianni, is built on resilience. Now, let's dive deeper into this play, because it's not just a fun anecdote. It's a tactical marvel that speaks volumes about Hurts' athleticism and the evolving nature of quarterbacking in the NFL. Jalen Hurts isn't your grandpa's pocket passer. Drafted in the second round out of Alabama and Oklahoma back in 2020, Hurts has redefined the position with his legs as much as his arm. Remember his rookie year? He stepped in for an injured Carson Wentz and never looked back, leading the Eagles to the playoffs in his first full season as starter in 2021. Fast forward to now, in 2025, and he's a Pro Bowl fixture, throwing for over 3,500 yards last season alone while rushing for another 700 plus. His speed? Elite. We're talking 4.5-second 40-yard dash territory, which is why he even entertained this idea. Not every QB could pull this off. Think of lumbering legends like Tom Brady, who'd need a golf cart to catch up. But Hurts? He's got that Lamar Jackson vibe, that mobility that makes defenses nightmare. Tactically, this was genius wrapped in desperation. In a Hail Mary, the end zone turns into a jump ball frenzy. Defenders swat, receivers leap, and anything can happen. Hurts sprinted about 50 yards, getting tantalizingly close to the goal line. If that deflection pops out, and he hauls it in for a touchdown, folks, we'd be rewriting record books. It'd surpass even the wildest plays in NFL history, like the immaculate reception in 1972, when Franco Harris scooped a ricochet for the Steelers, or Doug Flutie's Boston College miracle in '84. But a QB catching his own pass? Unprecedented. As Eagles offensive coordinator Brian Johnson might say, and I'm channeling some insider buzz here, Jalen's always thinking 3 steps ahead. His football IQ is off the charts. Imagine the analytics. Success rate on Hail Marys is already abysmal, around 10% league-wide, but adding a mobile QB as a safety net? That could flip scripts in crunch time. And let's talk receivers for a sec, because Smith and Brown aren't just bystanders. Devonta Smith, the Slim Reaper from Alabama, Heisman Trophy winner in 2020, has been Hurts' college buddy reborn in pros. He's got those sticky hands and route-running precision that's racked up 1,000-yard seasons like clockwork. Paired with A.J. Brown, traded from the Titans in 2022, who's a physical freak at 6 feet 1 inch, 226 pounds, Think a bulldozer with ballet shoes. Together, they formed one of the NFC's deadliest tandems, combining for over 2,000 yards last year. In this loss, they battled valiantly, but Broncos safety Justin Simmons, yeah, that ball-hawking vet, got just enough of a paw on it to disrupt. Defensively for the Eagles, though, that's where questions linger. Coordinator Vic Fangio's unit, bolstered by stars like edge rusher Josh Sweat and corner Darius Slay, allowed Denver's Bo Nix to dissect them for 300 yards. Injuries played a role too. Lane Johnson, our perennial all-pro tackle, was nursing a knee ding, forcing rookie backups into the fire. Statistically, the Eagles entered Sunday averaging 28 points per game, tops in the NFC East. But this slip-up dropped their record to, well, whatever it was pre-loss. Let's say 4-1 for drama, and reminded everyone that even powerhouses stumble. Zooming out to historical context, this moment fits snugly into the Eagles' storied tapestry. Philly's franchise, founded in 1933, has seen it all, from the gritty 60s with Chuck Bednarik, the Concrete Charlie, who played both ways like a warrior, to the 80s glory with Reggie White, the Minister of Defense, sacking QBs into oblivion. Brian Dawkins, Weapon X himself, patrolled the secondary in the 2000s with a ferocity that still gives rivals chills. Donovan McNabb, Hurts' predecessor in dual-threat lore, took us to 4 NFC championships and a Super Bowl in 2004. And who can forget 2017? That magical run to Super Bowl 52, where Nick Foles, backup turned hero, orchestrated the Philly special, a trick play TD pass to the QB. Hurts is carrying that innovative torch. Compare this season to last. The Eagles went 11-6 in 2024, bolstered by a top-5 defense allowing just 19 points per game. Now in 25, with Hurts at the helm, they're integrating new pieces like rookie corner Quinyon Mitchell, drafted to lock down receivers. But losses like this to inter-conference foes like Denver? They sting, especially in a loaded NFC where the Lions and 49ers lurk. Trivia time to lighten things up. Did you know the Eagles fight song, Fly Eagles Fly, was penned in 1958 by a couple of fans and has been belting out victories ever since? Or that our rivalry with the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, dates back to 1960, with over 120 meetings, Philly holding a slight edge at home. The Giants and Commanders round out the NFC East gauntlet, but nothing fires up the fanbase like a Cowboys showdown. Speaking of fans, you Philly faithful are legendary. Tailgating at the link with cheesesteaks from Pat's or Geno's, braving the elements in green face paint. Pop culture tie-in. Remember Jason Kelce's epic Super Bowl parade speech in 2018? Hungry dogs run faster. That motto lives on, even echoed in Travis Kelce's podcast nods. Yeah, the Chiefs' tight end, brother to our center Jason, who's still anchoring that O-line like a bearded fortress at age 37. Let's sprinkle in some expert takes, fictional but grounded in reality. Imagine Eagles legend Merrill Reese, the voice of the Birds on radio since 1977, chiming in, "I've seen a lot in 40-plus years, but Jalen sprinting like that? That's the future, baby." Reminds me of Randall Cunningham's heyday in the 80s, scrambling for days. Or a fan quote from South Philly's own, Tony from Fishtown, "Hurts is our guy, heart of a lion." That play didn't work, but it'll haunt Denver in film study. Coach Sirianni, post-game, "Jalen's effort embodies what we preach. Never quit. We'll tweak it, maybe drill it in practice." Stat comparison. Hurts rushing TDs last year? 15, tying him with historic mobiles like Cunningham. Versus the Broncos, Denver's defense ranked mid-pack against the pass, but they forced 3 turnovers, key in the upset. Looking ahead, what does this mean for the season? Playoff implications are huge. The NFC East is a dogfight, with the Cowboys reloading via draft and the Giants building around Daniel Jones. A loss like this could drop seeding, but with 12 games left, the Eagles control their destiny. Predictions. I see Hurts refining this self-catch concept. Maybe it debuts successfully against the Commanders next week. Season impact, strengthens team bond, exposes wrinkles in the secondary. Hello, free agent targets in 2026 draft. If they bounce back, Super Bowl echoes of 2017 return. Philly versus the AFC champ, perhaps Mahomes and the Chiefs for a Kelce Bowl rematch. Eagles Nation, that's your update. Electric, entertaining, and full of that green blood passion. Don't miss the next clash. Grab your tickets, tune in, and keep chanting, "Fly Eagles Fly." Hit that subscribe for more breakdowns, and let's go Birds, undefeated spirit starts now.